What's up, Internet? Welcome to Once Over. I'm Kaylee, and today we are doing something different. I've been in a little bit of a creativity slump, so you might have noticed that I haven't been posting quite as much. I'm really sorry. I appreciate you guys being patient with me while I try to get back onto a regular schedule. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming up soon, I promise. It's just slow. I'm slow right now. Speaking of which, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody for supporting my channel. It really means a lot to me. Everybody who likes and subscribes and comments, I really can't say enough. It makes me uncomfortable to talk about it because I just appreciate you guys so much, and it makes me feel bleh. If you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribed. It really helps me out a lot. Turn on the notifications things. I don't know, what did people say in this? Ugh. I'm sorry, I'm awkward. So what are we going to be doing today? You already know because you saw the title of this video. We're going to be looking at 5 movies from 2015 that I absolutely love, but you might not have seen. The first movie that I want to talk about is Call Me Lucky, directed by Bobcat Goldthwait. It's no secret that Bobcat is probably one of my favorite directors. I know that he gets wrapped up in his little bit and his voice and all that stuff, and his stand-up comedy is amazing.
Thank you very much. It feels. Thank you.
I love all that, but really where I think he succeeds is that he knows how to make a film. If you look at his filmography, he uses every single film to build off of that one and do something different with the next one. Call Me Lucky is a documentary about comedian Barry Crimmins.
Been on sort of a health kick lately.
It came out after Bobcat released Willow Creek, which was a documentary, mockumentary sort of thing.
You don't want to be in the movie, and now you're Stanley fucking Kubrick.
So he used the techniques that he learned during the filming of Willow Creek in order to be successful in making a true, sincere documentary. Barry Crimmins is probably one of the most important figures in stand-up comedy, but you might not have heard of him. His story is tragic, heartwarming, and we get to learn all about the very enigmatic persona that is Barry Crimmins.
Well, there's a couple of things I'd really still feel I have to accomplish. Of course, I'd like to overthrow the government of the United States, and I'd like to close the Catholic Church.
I got to go to a screening of this film where Bobcat and Barry both were there to present it, and it was one of the best moments in my life. This was in Syracuse, New York, where the two of them are actually from, or at least close by, and so it was a very emotional look into how they became who they are now. Unfortunately, Barry has since passed away, but this documentary stands the test of time in order to tell his story. There are a lot of hard topics in this one, so if things like child abuse impact you heavily, this one might not be for you. But if you want to learn more about one of the pioneers of stand-up and his very challenging life story, I highly recommend it. All right, Call Me Lucky is not a comedy, even though it stars a comedian, but another great movie that came out in 2015, directed and also starring a comedian, is Steve Orum's That's 8 A's and an exclamation mark at the end, not the beginning. Duh. If you've seen this film, then you know that I probably should not give it a review other than just saying ooh, 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 and going around like a crazy person. It is complete lunacy and a total oddity of a film. Even though there's no dialogue, we get to learn a lot about alpha and beta males as they try to woo a female within their community. Part avant-garde satire and part British slapstick comedy. This one is a weird one, and oh man, yeah. It's about humanity and primitive roots, and it looks at those things in an entirely unique way. Next up is Moonwalkers, which was directed by Bardou-Jacquet. I'm really bad at names. That's going to be a theme forever. I'm sorry for mispronouncing names all the time. Moonwalkers is a comedy starring Rupert Grint and Ron Perlman, exploring the idea, the conspiracy theory, if you will, about what if Apollo 11 never actually made it and Stanley Kubrick directed the whole moon landing.
Stanley Kubrick, he nice to actors?
Its tagline is based on a true conspiracy theory. It's got lots of nudity, drug use, and violence.
Oh, and I would appreciate it if you would keep this strictly confidential.
And for me, it's super funny. I know a lot of people had issues with the script and even the acting, but I thought that both Grint and Perlman did an awesome job. It's just a fun one for when you're in the mood for something lighthearted. and funny and interesting. A lot of people had issues with the ending, but it worked for me. If you've seen this one, definitely let me know what you think. Then we have Men and Chicken. This is another weird one. It was directed by Anders Thomas Jensen, and it is about a family, is kind of what I want to say about it.
Og så vil jeg køre os til et hospital. Hvor er det rart at se, I har fundet ud af, drenge. En familie, den skal holde sammen.
It's a Danish slapsticky sort of comedy. It's very dark, but it's not really in the same way that you would get with like a Stephen Chow film. It's a little darker than that and a little less slapsticky. If you like the movie Lamb that came out in, 2021-ish, sometime in that vicinity, you might be interested in this one. Some similar themes for sure. With Men and Chicken, you're going to get a grotesque, deadpan, weird family.
Det er ikke helt normalt. Det er der ikke rigtig nogen af os, der.
With a lot of chicken fucking.
Fint, vi har jo masser af høns inde ved siden af. Det er også nemmere. I så kan godt finde på at sparke lidt.
That doesn't really sound like I'm selling it, does it? If you don't know anything about this movie, just watch it. Go in blind. And last up, probably my favorite film of 2015, which is so hard to find, is called Use the Eyeballs. Naoya Toshiro directed this Japanese film, and as far as I'm aware, it only ever screened twice. Once in Ithaca, New York at the Ithaca International Film Festival, which was the best of like the film festivals of all time. It was my favorite one. I am very sad that it is defunct now. And once in Japan. The movie is a bizarre love story about a bullied schoolboy who has a very serious issue, which is that every time he's nervous, especially when he's sexually aroused, he has eyeballs that come out of his nose, and they go around. Toshiro is clearly a huge fan of Lloyd Kaufman. There's a point in the film where the schoolboy gets confidence from watching The Toxic Avenger, and this film features an amazing cameo. That's not at all obvious who it could possibly be, right? I'm not giving anything away. It's fucking amazing. You should watch this movie. This movie is also very special to me because I want to be able to share it with everybody, and I can't, because there's like no release of it. I've always said that if I had all the money in the world, I would create a distribution company and actually release this film so that everybody could see it, because I think it's just super fun, super goofy, and just one of those movies that makes you laugh. I think I might actually have the director's email address somewhere. When I saw this in Ithaca, I was like, this needs to be seen. And so I did a whole bunch of research and found it. And so, you know, Toshiro, if you're watching this, I might be coming for you one day. I haven't seen this since I originally saw it back in 2015, so it's possible that my opinions of it might have changed. But usually when I talk about films that I think not a lot of other people have seen, this is the one that I'm like, you have to see this. All right, I guess I'll work on the whole distribution thing so that you guys can actually see it. If anybody figures out a way to watch this movie, please let me know. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me as I talked about 5 movies from 2015 that I absolutely loved and you might not have seen. How many of them did you see? Let me know what else I'm missing from the list that I should have talked about. What are your favorite movies from 2015? Why did I pick 2015? No fucking idea. Just did. If you liked me talking about some recommendations as opposed to doing my normal movie reviews, please let me know. And if you have recommendations for me, I also would love to hear those. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.
2015?